Ladies and gentlemen, step right up. Welcome to the greatest spectacle in online critiques, presented by yours truly, Andrew of Thin Blue Line Productions. Today, under the big top, we introduce a showman of a different kind, Joshua Washburn, the ringmaster of J-Dub Audits. He's a so-called First Amendment auditor, or as we like to call them, a frauditor. But don't be fooled by the grand title, folks, because Joshua's act is less about the Constitution and more about chaos. But there's more to our star story. Behind the curtain of his auditing career lies a colorful past, a career marked not by noble pursuits, but by run-ins with the law. So the question is, what kind of performer is drawn to this field? And why, oh why, would a recidivist lawbreaker like Washburn suddenly don the costume of a constitutional crusader? Could it be the lure of fat paychecks from YouTube views? Or perhaps the thrill of stirring up controversy while the hardworking taxpayers foot the bill for his antics through settlements? Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 was a banner year for this headliner, a veritable roller coaster ride of arrests, legal proceedings, and courtroom drama. In today's feature presentation, you'll witness his threats to sue in full swing, including a couple of arrests and lawsuits. Watch as one of his cases is dismissed as frivolous. Gasp as another gets thrown out due to missing body camera footage, letting Washburn dodge yet another bullet for now. It's a wild ride, a legal circus, and our star performer is at the center of it all. But hold on to your popcorn, because the show's not over yet. As of now, our leading man is reportedly out on bond, awaiting the next act in his legal saga. Meanwhile, his YouTube channel is packed with his auditing performances, often disrespectful to police, always dramatic, and with a rap sheet as long as high wire rope. One must wonder, is this really about constitutional rights, or is it simply a personal grudge against the police? Is his newfound dedication to the First Amendment a clever disguise for an old resentment, or could it just possibly be the start of a redemption arc? Ladies and gentlemen, I have my doubts. Respect for the law is a two-way street, and Mr. Washburn's treatment of law enforcement seems to suggest he's taking a one-way trip down Grifter Alley. But don't take my word for it. Let's dive into the action and see for ourselves. Today's spectacle begins with an arrest early in 2024, and I've spared no detail. This is the full uncut performance, showcasing Mr. Washburn as a defendant, an accused, and a self-proclaimed freedom fighter. So sit back, enjoy the show, and let's uncover whether Joshua Washburn is the cop hater and grifter I suspect, or a man attempting to reinvent himself from a life of criminality. Let the critique begin.
Are we on the way to Nottingham, to Birmingham, to Buckingham, or anyhow we have the by the sea? Are we on our way to Devonshire?
Manship? I haven't seen it yet, but you want to save it.
This is the first arrest.
There you go.
Now, he sides with him knowing all the beatings. The reason why I left. The real
stop.
reason why I left. No, because I don't trust that cop. So they calling me 26 times.
For what? Whoa, why?
For what? For what? He ain't got nothing.
I did not have nothing to do. I didn't do anything. We have it on tape. For what? What crime? What crime? Listen.
For what?
For what? Rash.
Yes, that's what it's on.
Rash.
What is your rash?
Rash. What's a rash? What's a rash?
I mean, right off the bat, this guy's getting arrested. We don't really know why right away, although you'll find out this police officer is telling him he's got a warrant in Indiana, and they're telling him that it's not, it's been settled, which I'm sure every person who is getting arrested would say. But notice how they just unleash on the officer with all the First Amendment auditor crap. What's your RAS, and what's your, RAS is reasonable articulable suspicion. And like they know this guy, knows what RAS means. He should know what RAS means, of course, but they only get 8 weeks of training. It's mostly a training on the job situation. They may not have encountered these First Amendment frauditors yet. So they're not going to know what RAS is probably, but these guys are like, "What's your RAS? What's your RAS?" And what's the crime? And just basically being uncooperative to what the police officer is instructing. So let's keep going.
Out of Indiana.
No, and you know what? They're not picking them up. It's already
You can't come
said.
within 250 miles.
Listen,
It's been changed. It's been changed to. Listen, it's been changed to next flag. All right, listen. I just got off the phone with the solicitor. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it in.
Call it in. Handcuff. Unhandcuff.
Assault and battery. Assault and battery. I'm assaulting you. Assault and battery. I'm assaulting you. Assault and battery.
That's Joshua in handcuffs.
Supervisor. Right now. Supervisor. Let him go. Supervisor.
Right now. I'm asking you to turn Supervisor. One more time. You are on body cam. I understand.
They always ask for the supervisor.
You are making a mistake. Your warrant has been changed.
Waste other people's time.
God damn it. That's all right. Yeah, we got him. Don't worry. Don't worry, brother.
Take that kid.
He did nothing
Here comes a
wrong.
lawsuit threat,
He did nothing wrong.
I think.
Don't worry, brother.
No, but see, he's untrusted anyways. He called DSS on
did nothing
26
wrong.
times.
Yeah, it's because we got a lawsuit on him. It's retaliation. That's right. Retaliatory arrest.
Retaliatory.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes, it is. Retaliatory.
Paranoia.
Thankfully, we got a sheriff.
I'm not lawfully detained.
I'm sure that warrant in Indiana had nothing to do with it.
I don't have one.
Awesome to see you, brother.
I don't ID.
Can I talk to you?
Hey, I'm being unlawfully detained here, Sheriff.
He
You
is.
should have over jurisdiction over this officer right here who's illegally searching me. I'm not even a part of what's going on here. Just came out with the camera. Hey, I'll talk to
What's
this
his
officer
name?
right now.
What's his
my
name?
name?
What's
You
his
know my
name?
Washburn.
What's his
I don't
name?
even
That's a
know.
lie. He didn't ID.
Sir, I'm asking you to step back. I'm asking you. That is not my name.
Not his name. That's not his name.
They're really giving this cop a hard time.
You got your
making his
wallet on
job so much more difficult.
You got your wallet on you?
Again, illegally searching. Sir, illegally searching.
I'm on a public sidewalk.
And this isn't bad. I mean, I've seen
I'm
a
on a
lot worse.
I'm on a public
You
sidewalk.
open yourself up for a huge lawsuit. This is huge. I've already listened. I've already come and talked to the solicitor. I talked to the solicitor, and we already know the deal. I got emails from him saying they ain't coming within 250 miles.
He's basically saying
What's your name and badge?
the Indiana thing is not a thing.
Okay.
No, sir, I'm not detained.
Cops are not buying it.
Detained right now. I am illegally detained right now.
Is that
Here
your
comes
wallet?
who his true persona is in just a second.
I know you
I didn't
don't.
ID to
That's
this-
right.
This fucking
You
public
don't.
service.
You don't.
Fucking public service.
Here it comes, F-bomb.
You're a bitch. You're a bitch.
There it is right there. Cop hater.
Get the fuck off me. Get the fuck off me. Get the fuck off
And this
me.
guy's fighting for
Don't
our
worry,
constitutional rights.
You know what the Fourth Amendment is, right? Yeah. Illegal search. Illegal search, baby. I love that, baby. Sir, I'm asking you, please step back.
I'm on public sidewalk, sir.
That's illegal search.
Please stop approaching me, brother.
That's a legal search. That's an illegal search. That's an illegal search. Illegal search. I love this. Hey, this is Huggins. This is
Yep, Captain Huggins.
Right here, opened himself up for a 1983 lawsuit.
There it is.
242 deprivation of right.
And he's going to sue. I mean, that's just, this is what they live for.
You understand that? Sir, come put him in your position on the case here, please. 242, 1983. What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge
He already didn't give it to me.
What's your name and badge number? What's the
What's your call number?
Just antagonists.
There you go.
What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number? You get treated how you treat others in life, and that's
So,
probably
I
true
got
with
your
the cops.
call. I will.
They're ignoring the cameraman, as they should. He's going to give some lip to some locals here shortly. Get to see what kind of person he is by how he treats others. Always look for the behavior, not what they're saying. This is just in general, people in general. The behavior says a lot more than anything else. or lack of behavior in some cases.
He had a warrant in Indiana, but they said they wasn't going to pick him up. Dang. But now they're just handing him for that because they know he has a warrant.
They're about to ship him up.
No, they're not going to pick him up. They already said they won't.
It's not much of a cameraman, is he?
Don't worry, I'm going to show him. I'm going to show him you touching me, brother. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I'm not fucking worried. Talking about on a public road.
So am
Leave
I.
me alone.
Thank you, bitch.
Right.
Fuck you. Leave me alone. Freedom of speech.
There we go.
Freedom of... No, it's not. You dumb bitch. You fucking stupid bitch. You don't know nothing. Go ahead. Tell him I assaulted you. Give him proof. Tell him I called you a bitch.
Fine representatives of the First Amendment auditing community, wouldn't you say?
Dumb whore. God damn. You don't know me. Why are you talking to me? Thank you. Keep walking, brother. Keep walking, brother. Okay. Thank you for the threat.
No?
Threat to kill me. I'll show him. Don't worry. I know they're broken. All because
This so far fails our third test, which is respect for your fellow human beings. Okay, now he's in a bond hearing. This is just a quote I put up there I think is appropriate. Repentance is different from regret. Regret merely wishes things were different without, well,
Hey, Mr. Washburn.
there it goes.
How are you doing?
Good.
That was too fast.
Mr. Washburn, after we left, since I've been contacted and law enforcement now has a criminal history to present.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is on my own, I'm basically reopening to reconsider the bond with all the information that I would normally have.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to allow them to present the criminal history to me, at which point I'll make a determination from that with all the information that's necessary. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we've got Lieutenant Gray. Lieutenant, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Lieutenant Gray with the Blackville Police Department's here to present your criminal history to me.
Okay.
All right? Mr. Gray.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't know why there's no video right
criminal
here.
history for Mr. Joshua Washburn. He is.
There we go.
First, he's currently out on bond for the Black Police Department. For.
This was
resisting
earlier
arrest
in the
and
year.
disorderly conduct charges that he has with the city. 2018 at North Charleston PD on his criminal history. He has a cocaine charge. He was convicted for 1 year, time served, 95 days he served,
What year was that?
2018.
Okay.
2019, failure to appear for a misdemeanor. That was in Charleston County. 2019, he was charged. Let me make sure this is a conviction. Yeah. So he was charged with shoplifting in North Charleston PD, possession of marijuana, assault on police officer while resisting,
That was dropped.
failure to appear after a misdemeanor, malicious injury to real property, valued less than $2,000. He was convicted on 11/28/2018.
Just a litany
Convicted for shoplifting on
of past charges.
2/25/19. He was convicted for
He likes to
malicious
steal.
injury 25/19. Convicted for the marijuana.
Loves to get high.
He was arrested again in 2019 in Collington County. Violation of county ordinance, resisting arrest, malicious criminal offense. He was convicted, fine, it was suspended.
This was before First Amendment
Malicious
auditing.
criminal offense, he was convicted, fined, suspended, 2019. 2020, he was arrested for shoplifting in the Walterboro. 2020 again in March. Never mind on that, it was a non-conviction for grand larceny. 2021 Collin County, he was convicted for public disorderly conduct. 2022 criminal domestic violence second degree was a non-conviction on that. So leave that alone. Also have some prior arrests from another state out of Indiana. He is currently wanted out of Indiana on several different warrants.
Those the ones for the fugitives.
It is.
Okay.
So I'll read those off, but I'll read some other ones too. I just want to make sure.
He's got so many cases that are intermingling with each other that I get confused, frankly, as to what all is out there.
So he was charged in 2003 for Carmel Police Department for possession of marijuana. That was a misdemeanor. He was guilty.
Really no big deal.
A fine he was given. In 2004, Marion County Sheriff's Office, possession of marijuana / dealing in marijuana, severity unknown.
That's aggressive.
2005, Indianapolis Police Department, charged with criminal recklessness, Firearms Act, no license, possession of marijuana, carrying a handgun without a license. Was found guilty, sentenced to 365 days, probation 355 days, suspended 355. Possession of marijuana was dismissed. Carmel Police Department, he was charged with driving under suspension, possession of marijuana, carrying a handgun without a license. Hamilton
I wonder where
County
Carmel
Sheriff's
is.
Office in Indiana, possession of marijuana, hash oil, ×2.
Probably Indiana.
2013 Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. It was time served, or served time in jail. It says unknown. Carmel Police Department was charged with carrying a handgun without a license. That was dismissed.
There's only 2 of those in there.
Possession of marijuana was dismissed. Possession of marijuana felony. He was found guilty, sentenced to 2 years.
Jeez.
Suspended. And then he charged possession of marijuana, felony, discipline, carrying a handgun without a license. So carrying a handgun without a license, felony, guilty, with the Carmel Police Department. 2013. 2013, it was a court order transport from the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. 2014, non-compliance, work release. Hamilton County Sheriff's Office is what he's actively wanted for now. Is evasion of privacy, resisting law enforcement, possession of cocaine or narcotic, possession of marijuana, hash, oil, and drug paraphernalia, and disorderly conduct.
That's disorderly conduct.
Extradition from
Not disability.
the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office.
Current.
Pretty substantial criminal history, Your Honor. The state would request a no bond.
And what are we currently out on bond on?
He is currently out on bond for Blackville for resisting arrest and disorderly conduct.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, sir. 1 second. Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Resisting and
Yeah, that's an active case.
All right, so Mr. Washburn, I want to now give you a chance to talk. Again, before you do, I do want to advise you again that you do have that right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Now, there is a pretty long list there, but
Yes, sir.
I have paid my dues in most of those cases. I have learned the law from that point on and learned not what to do. Okay. Now I have made.
To me, it's not what the law says, and now you know what not to do because you now know the law. It's deeper than that. You know, it's wanting to, you know, deal in felony amounts of marijuana or shoplifting, and you know, it's the heart. Is it in the heart?
Some mistakes, but my angle now is more First Amendment protected activities. Like the disorderly conduct that happened recently, that was a First Amendment protected activity, and yes, it's still ongoing, and we're fighting that. I've put in the motions to correct that.
Yes, sir.
Also, for the no bond, like there's no charges that shouldn't have a bond attached to them, and these are constitutional rights. Now, for the PR bond that you gave me earlier, I was out on a PR bond for the case that I'm currently fighting right now with Blackville. Have not kept my word. Always will come to the court dates. Not going anywhere. I have learned the law, and now I've decided I can protect myself pro se, and now can defend myself. And I'm going to take the.
What he means is he can represent himself pro se, is what it's called. As opposed to hire a lawyer.
Actions to get the cases in Indiana taken care of. I'm going to file my motion for discovery so I can find out what evidence, if they have any left, and then file the motion to dismiss so I can take care of that case and get that out of the system. I'm currently in school, so not having a bond will be detrimental to my school. Like I am so close to graduating, and this arrest right here was retaliatory. I had committed no crime. There was nothing going on but me standing outside filming.
You had a warrant.
Police officer that put his hands on me without IDing who I was. I did not give him my identification willingly. He just came up and grabbed me, which is assault and battery. Okay. This is retaliatory for what I have going on. I have lawsuits against Blackville that are in the district courts, and all of this that's going on is retaliatory. Why would judge?
I don't think it's retaliatory. I think this is his grift, and that's what the lawsuits are all about. He goes and he shakes the trees, and he hopes the lawsuit coconuts will fall.
Just prior to this, let me go and allow me to come to court and prove my word and what I mean and what I stand for. And then now this just seems like a far reach of desperation because they're trying to keep me from fighting my case, knowing that it's hard to do inside.
Okay.
Doubtful.
All right, so Mr. Washburn, again, I had reopened this
She's about to shut him
to
down.
look at the possibility of amending the bond.
Yes, ma'am.
The new information provided by law enforcement that we waited for earlier. Now that we have that information, previously I was aware of the resisting arrest and the disorderly that you were currently out on. However, I was not aware of the extensive prior history. Going back, to, I think I jotted down, some of these charges out of Indiana are from 2003, going all the way to current, with other charges, not all the Indiana stuff, but with other current charges coming forward. With the request of Indiana to extradite, with the previous, including another resisting that you were convicted on, and the current resisting, it does shed some light on the situation a little bit more for me.
You think?
So to
Man,
ensure,
I'm sorry, I don't mean
to ensure that you get this matter handled, at this time, Mr. Washburn, I am going to agree with state. I'm going to do a no bond. They will process your extradition paperwork through to the governor's office and get that moving. I do know from speaking months ago with that department that they do process it quicker when you are there, so it shouldn't be a lengthy process. So at this time, I am going to amend the bond from a PR bond to a no bond with the criminal that's now been provided.
That is hurtful, ma'am, Your Honor. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I was doing no wrong, you know, and
Well, it's not based on what you were doing at that time. That information is not being presented to me. It is based on your criminal history and the fact that you were wanted for extradition out of another state.
But-
With the new criminal history that has been provided to me, that is my decision, Ms.
I
Washburn.
understand. Yes, ma'am. Now, will I be able to request a bond hearing again?
That
think
process
PR
is through
means
the governor's office as far as
personal
hearing for a,
recognizance.
extradition. So I do not have that information currently. I will look into that and get back with you tomorrow.
Man, I was doing, I know you made your decision. Lieutenant Gray, that is uncool, man.
All right, Mr. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's disappointing, but if you see right here, this was his lawsuit against Blackville,
Are we on the way to Nottingham?
and basically thrown out, dismissed as frivolous for the most part.
To Lancashire. I'm not so sure, we'll have to wait and see.
I'm not sure which suit that was. Was that the suit that happened after this interaction and this arrest, or was it a suit
Today's date is March the 21st.
based on some other arrest? He's got so many arrests, I don't know.
David Washburn.
Yes, Judge Gann, I am.
Okay. Mr. Washburn, I've got 3 warrants here. The first warrant is warrant number 2024A06 202000019 for assault and battery.
So we find ourselves in another legal proceeding.
Warrant ending in 2020, assault and battery, first degree, second count. And warrant ending in 0021, weapons, firearm, or ammunition by a person convicted of certain crimes, first offense.
Again, I don't think it was the first arrest that we started this video with, because it didn't look like they found any guns and he wasn't committing assaults. But he's got these 3 warrants. They've come from somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but this hearing is dealing with it.
Mr. Washburn, do you understand those charges?
I do not understand them, to be honest with you. Not guilty, I can say that.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, I'm not saying you're guilty of these charges. I'm just saying, do you understand what you've been charged with?
I'm saying that I understand, yes, the wording, but as far as understanding the probable cause on this, I do not.
Okay, so this is not a hearing about your guilt or innocence, only about setting your bond.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
You had the right.
Another
to
bond
use
hearing.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questioning if you wish. Can't afford to hire an attorney, won't be appointed to represent you without cost if you meet certain guidelines. Mr. Washburn, to these charges, would you like to have a public defender?
No, sir.
I'm going to represent. How about let me finish my question before you answer me, okay? I'll try it again. Washburn, do you want a public defender? Would you like to hire your own attorney, or would you like to represent yourself?
I'm going to represent myself, Your Honor.
Okay.
Let me just stop this right here. This is a quote that says, and you can't see it, of course, thanks to my terrible graphics, but a man who represents himself has a fool for a client, as a well-known legal adage that's attributed to Lincoln. And I think with his track record that's pretty true in this case as well.
All right, I need you to look at page 1. page 1 in bold, right in the top right-hand side says waiver of right to in-person court appearance and consent to video and audio conferencing. What that means, Mr. Washburn, is you have a right to physically be here in the courtroom with me today. You can waive that right and we can do this over these cameras. I'd like for you to know the outcome and consequences wouldn't be any different.
This video would be a lot shorter if I cut this type of stuff out, but
keep a copy of this video.
I didn't want to be accused of cutting.
From today's date. Mr. Washburn, would you like to waive your right to be physically in the courtroom here and do this over these cameras?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. I need you to sign where it says signature defendant.
Can I get a, I apologize. Can I get a copy of this video, Your Honor?
Yes, you can request a copy of it.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Washburn, don't check it yet. There's a box under there that says, I hereby acknowledge I've been fully informed of my right to counsel, and with that knowledge, I voluntarily waive that right. If you want to waive your right to counsel, you can. If you do, you check that box and sign it below. It's not necessary that you do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to check it.
Okay. So you're good.
Yes, sir.
All right, top of page 2. Before we go any further, Mr. Washburn, is there anything you'd like to say about your bond?
Yes, Your Honor, I would. I do believe these charges carry that they look pretty bad. But being that, I mean, I know there's no evidentiary here, but I see there's a wording here that says unknown. That this is a hearsay case, and it is detrimental to my defense to be able to be out to defend myself. One being that this facility does not have the federal, by law, federal.
He's trying to get out.
Easily accessible papers for me to defend myself from this facility, which is against the law. Like Rule 5's, motion to dismiss,
Everything's against the law to these frauditors.
etc. It would be a lot easier to fight this on the street, even though I'm right now being held on another charge as well for other things right now. But just saying, I'm going to be putting myself up for bond here soon on that in the near future. So I would want to make sure that the court understands that these are just charges and not guilts. And any accessible bail would be unconstitutional, Your Honor.
All right, so you said, start out with, it said that something about the affidavit you were saying that said something unknown.
Yeah, it says an unknown weapon, and it's a black semi-automatic pistol. They don't have this weapon that I'm being charged with. This is hearsay, clearly. Clear.
Sure. Okay.
And then there's also, when one lies on an affidavit, they've lied on all, Your Honor. I have never been convicted of a violent crime. I was convicted of growing marijuana in Indiana, in which I did sign the gun law saying that I wouldn't possess any firearms, and I have not had any firearms since then. Like, if I have to handle anything, I'm trained in mixed martial arts, and I try to talk things out before anything bad happens anyway. And I haven't been in any physical altercations in a long time. So, with that being said, like, I've got video evidence that's going to exonerate me because I had a body camera on that day. The police, I don't know why they didn't think I had body cameras, but I had a body camera running that day. And I have my people are out there blowing this information out there onto the internet. Everybody's going to see it. This is a lying, this warrant is no good. When you lie on an affidavit, that's called perjury, Your Honor. And I'm going to prove this. I have the evidence to prove this. And other witness testimonies.
Okay. Anything from the state?
Charged back in Indiana.
Seems to be making a pretty good case for himself.
Marijuana.
Judge goes back
License.
to the prosecutor.
He is an out currently, not out, but he's currently on a holding for a nationwide pickup. Indiana, charges of possession of narcotic, drug, level 6 felony, possession of paraphernalia, assisting law enforcement, invasion of privacy, possession of marijuana, disorderly conduct, another possession of marijuana charge. It's also has a pretty substantial criminal history.
If you would, just give me the convictions.
Are you sitting down? That's what I would have said.
He was convicted in Hamilton County Sheriff's Office of possession of marijuana hash, oil, 2013, Hamilton County, Indiana.
This may seem repetitive. Different judge.
Served jail time.
Judge kind of looks like David Gilmour.
Indianapolis.
Only kind of.
2005, he was charged with criminal recklessness, Firearms Act, possession of marijuana.
Sexual marijuana. The computer is funny sometimes.
Without a license, found guilty, sentenced to 365 days, probation 355 days, suspended to the 355. Found guilty on possession of marijuana. Keep it up.
The marijuana I don't care about.
You're on
It's
time, Jeff.
legal just about everywhere.
All right, so when he gets through, I'll let you talk, but I'm gonna listen to him and then I'll listen to you.
Yes, sir.
Guilty. 65 days.
What was that charge? Okay.
Someone's not speaking in their microphone.
On 7, Oral Police Department. Resisting arrest, simple assault. Again, 2016 on Aurora. Theft from auto.
Theft, I do care about. You don't have to steal from others to be successful.
2/motor vehicle misdemeanor guilty. He was sentenced to 2 years probation. That one. South Carolina charges, he was convicted for public disorderly conduct in 2021.
Y'all like my bow tie?
He was convicted of shoplifting in 2019. Malicious injury to real property in 2019. And possession of marijuana.
Sure it is.
So true. That's not a real picture up there.
Also in 2019 in Common County. So he was charged with county noise ordinance, resisting arrest, convicted, suspended to suspend date 9/12/2019.
This guy's like a magnet
This is
to
miscellaneous
police,
criminal offense convicted.
it seems.
Washburn PD, possession of meth or cocaine base 1. He was convicted to 1 year. Funds, time served 95 days. 2019, got a failure to appear. Several other charges, they don't have this.
Okay. Yes, sir, Mr. Washburn.
Yes, sir. Now for the criminal recklessness in Indiana, that was a charge, yes, but it got dismissed because it was self-defense and I fired into the street. I did get charged with the carrying the handgun. As far as the failure to appears, I have proven myself that I've learned my rights and started beginning to study law in the last 4 years, that I now know how to defend myself. I've been in talks with David Miller, the solicitor. Before I even got picked up on this outstanding warrant for nationwide, I had filed a lawsuit for a Freedom of Information Act violation by the Blackville Town Hall. This has been done clearly out of retaliation for that. Again, with these charges as well, these new charges, clearly retaliation. The officer that grabbed me that day said nothing about guns being fired. He just said, you have a warrant, and I did not ID to the man. He grabbed me and put me in cuffs and threw me in the back of the car. I never ID'd to him. He just took me away, and I've been sitting ever since. And I've been just getting these warrants every time. I just beat the resisting arrest from Blackville.
He may never have ID'd, but the cop obviously got his man.
Okay? David Miller dismissed those charges because they were unfounded. I was tased illegally. I was out just walking around, shadowboxing, minding my own business, not bothering a soul, and was picked up by Blackville PD and tased and taken away on November 11th, 2023. Like I said, I just recently beat that charge, and there will be litigation on that too.
Of course.
But as far as these charges go, this is hearsay, Your Honor. And I need to be able to defend myself, and the best way I can do that is on the street, where I have easy access to all the court documents I need, access to all the evidence that I can to put forth to the courts to prove my innocence, Your Honor. And again, lying on an affidavit is a serious crime. Like, that's not what law enforcement should be known for. And this is clearly an untruthful affidavit here, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else?
The videos will be out probably today, tomorrow on the internet for everybody to see, and I'm going to give them to David Miller as well. I promised him the last time I seen him in court on the 13th that I had video evidence of whatever went on that day without knowledge of these warrants that were getting ready to hit me with, because I did not do these things that are being alleged.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state?
Yes, Your Honor, the state would just request to decide to set a bond on Mr. Washburn. State request to be a high bond, that the also with a ankle monitor due to Mr. Washburn being a flight risk and already showing that he would flee another state to
Got a question. You said he was warranted out of Indiana. How long has he been warranted out of Indiana?
10 Indiana's.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Washburn, before I set your bond?
Yes, sir. I am not going anywhere, Your Honor.
Sounds like he's setting a bond, though.
There's litigation here worth a few dollars. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm not going anywhere, Your Honor. And I'll still be here until I get the bond.
Who pays that litigation, the few dollars that you talk about? It's the citizens of your town. So you're basically shaking down your hardworking citizens to pay your rent.
From the out-of-state warrant, because they're not coming to get me. David told me they're not coming 250 miles out to get me. And there's also a case law called Lawrence versus King, where South Carolina cannot be the initiative or cannot initiate an extradition, okay? I've studied the law a little bit and I know some things. I don't know it all, but I am going to continue to fight. I'm not going anywhere, Your Honor.
Remember what Lincoln said.
All right, sir. Couple things I want to comment on. One is, you were talking about your accessory to stuff you need. You may want to employ an attorney or use the public defender. You could still represent yourself at court, but you could use the public defender's office or an attorney to facilitate any of the things you're talking about.
I agree.
Sir.
If you qualify. The other is, I'm going to set your bond at $20,000 each for a total of $60,000. And I'm also going to require an ankle monitor because of your criminal history and your leaving the state and not going back for 9 years to answer the court.
That hurts.
And so I'm going to have to make an amendment to one of these
Every
pages.
First Amendment auditor needs an ankle monitor.
If you would give me a second,
Yes, sir.
and I'll be right back with you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Also,
So he, threw the book at him. I think he could have said no bond, I guess, but 60,000 still. He's got to come up with 10%. So that's $6,000. My guess is he doesn't own a home or have any assets, considering his criminal history. Clearly, he's looking to shake down the good citizens of his town for future income through these frivolous lawsuits that he's dreaming up.
Update, I think it's page 8 and 9 and send them back to you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I need you to look at page 2, number 2, Mr. Washburn. Just give me page 2, number 1. It says bail, form used in bail proceedings, skip form 1, check the box, it says form 2.
Okay. Form 2.
Yep.
Got it.
1 second, I'll be right back.
Yes, Your Honor.
2003.
I still think that
Paperwork over for Washburn.
he argued his case pretty good, considering the evidence against him. It didn't work, though. And the reason it didn't work was not because of what he's saying right now. It's because of his long rap sheet.
Not a problem.
Page 2, number 2. I need your initials by number 2. It says for cases which bond was set, defendant was informed a warrant for arrest may be issued for violation of any condition in his bail order. And his right and obligation to be present at his trial and the trial proceeding is absent if he fails to attend. Failure to appear in court as required may result in institution of additional criminal charges. So if you get out on bond and you don't show up for court, you can face an additional criminal charges for failure to appear. Number 3, for cases to be tried in general sessions, the defendant was informed of his right to a preliminary hearing if requested within 10 days. I'm telling you that now. I'm going to give you a copy of it in writing in a minute. Number 4,
Preliminary hearing.
Initials there.
I wonder what that is.
Informed of his right to trial by jury.
Okay.
Number 5, I need your initials by number 5. It says in all general sessions cases. in which the defendant is subject to a prison sentence. Defendant was informed of the following: the charges against the defendant, nature of charge, which I read at the beginning of this hearing. Your right to counsel and right to court-appointed counsel are financially unable to employ counsel. You have your initials by number 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Top of page 3, defendant was informed orally provided a copy of this form advising him his right to obtain court-appointed counsel if indigent. Must meet guidelines set forth in Rule 602B and instructions on how to obtain court-appointed counsel. In order to apply for court-appointed counsel, the defendant is required to appear for the Blackville Magistrate Court at 5997 North Artigue Street, Blackville, South Carolina, for industry screening. The defendant is responsible for a statutory fee of $40 for industry screening, unless that fee is waived or reduced pursuant to 7.
I love South Carolina.
Number 6 has a big X through it. It does not apply to you.
Sir.
Number 7, if the charges are brought against you are discharged, dismissed, or not processed, or if you're found not guilty, you may have your record expunged. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 8, defendant is required to keep court notified of any change of interest to final disposition of these charges. I need you to sign with the signature defendant.
Got it.
Page 4, I need you to read page 4 from top to bottom. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them for you. If you don't have any questions when you get through, sign it and let me know when you're through.
Yes, Your Honor.
I wonder if he has to submit the circumference of his ankle for the ankle monitor. Again, in an effort for objectivity, I guess, I didn't cut this down or fast forward, but certainly could.
Signed it, Your Honor.
And page 5, this is the preliminary hearing notice paperwork I told you about.
Yes, Your Honor.
I need you to look in like the middle of the page, left-hand side. It says, I request a preliminary hearing. You need to sign right there. You need to put your correct mailing address right there below it. If you're going to represent yourself, you're not going to need to put your attorney's name there.
Yes, sir.
Unless you're planning on hiring an attorney, you know who that's going to be. And again, Mr. Washburn, I do strongly suggest that you use the public defender's office if you qualify, or get an attorney to associate with you for your representation.
Yes, sir.
He's probably pissed all the attorneys off in town.
Signed.
All right. Page 6, State of South Carolina, County of Barnwell, State of South Carolina versus Joshua David Washburn. It lists your 3 charges. It says in the Court of General Sessions, notice of date and time of mandatory court appearance. This is the only notice you'll receive. Keep a copy of this for your records. You are a defendant in a criminal case. You're required to appear at the Barnwell County Courthouse at 141 Main Street, Barnwell, South Carolina, 29812. Dates and times of these appearances cannot change for any reason. Your initial appearance is set for May the 28th, 2024 at 10 a.m. in the main courtroom. Failure to appear will result in your arrest. You must be present at this appearance. If you fail to appear on this date and time, a bench warrant will be issued for your arrest. You will be placed in jail and may be held for the trial of your case. Failure to obtain an attorney may result in your bond being revoked, being held in contempt of court, fines, or jail. I have read this form. I have had it read to me. I understand these instructions have been given a copy to keep. I need you to sign the bottom left-hand side.
Get it signed, Your Honor.
All right, skip page 7. Deputy, we got a new page, 8A and 9A. We need them to bring those up to you.
They bought me some new paperwork. I don't know if this is what you're talking about.
It should say 8A, top right-hand side, and 9A. Is that what it says?
No, they bought me the same paperwork that I already have. Hold on.
Okay,
Delta 2 Kilo 1.
Your Honor, I have a question.
okay.
When you set the bond, you said, we thought we heard 3,000 apiece, or is that 30,000 apiece?
20,000.
20,000.
20,000, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Total of $60,000 cash
Okay.
surety.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Put up that money in cash, that much money worth of property or a bondsman.
Yeah, I don't have none of that.
So while we're waiting, let's look at page 10.
Yes,
And
Your Honor.
this is just in case you change your mind and you want to consult with a public defender. Would you like for me to go over this paperwork with you?
I think I can understand it, Your Honor.
Okay, you want us to go ahead and fill it? Would you like to fill it out where you can be screened for a public defender?
I'll hold on to it. I
He should do it. I don't know why he's not.
I know not much time, but I have to think on it a little bit.
Okay,
I think he
I
probably
have a
has
hard time
done it in the
trusting
past and
The system.
didn't see eye to eye
okay.
with the public defender.
I didn't know my rights before. That's why my criminal history is so
Just a
long.
theory of
I do
mine.
now.
Paperwork. It should have 8A and 9A on. Yeah. 9A. He going to see now, Judge.
Okay,
And Your Honor, I am a full-time student of psychology too. I'm getting ready to go for my doctorate. Just want to let the court know that. My school's on hold right now. It hurts, but I've been bettering myself over the years. The last 4 years, I've really turned the corner.
that's good.
More towards civil disobedience than breaking laws anymore, Your Honor.
I understand.
Harassing
So,
law enforcement.
And
Shaking down the
I'll beat
city.
dead horse Since we got some time here. If you decide to get, are you employed at this time, Mr. Washburn?
I'm self-employed, Your Honor, and I'm a full-time student.
So do you make over $15,000 a year?
Right now, no, Your Honor, I don't. But I do have some litigation in where, somebody owes me $8,000. I haven't filed the paperwork yet. But they owe me $8,000 for work I have done. But of course, I can't fight that from here. I have 2 years to file it, but I have all my stuff ready to go, so I can file.
Okay.
But
So I understand that. So if you do make less than 15,
This guy's relying on litigation to provide his income. Period. That's never a good idea.
$1,000, you would qualify for a public defender.
Yes, sir.
And they're sworn to uphold their oath. And, even if you don't use them to fully represent you, you could use them for assistance in getting any paperwork and motions you need to file.
I do believe it would be awesome for everybody to be able to have easily accessible paperwork within the facilities, required by law, Your Honor. Just for that reason, because it'll be easily accessible.
We have it, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
And I've got the phone. I did with mine. All right, page 8A.
Oh, jeez.
Under number 1, says if you released from jail, you must not leave the state of South Carolina, and that you must be on good behavior.
I'm going to fast forward this.
Just skip down to number 3.
Yes, sir.
It says the defendant shall appear
Although,
in the term of General Sessions Court beginning May the 28th, 2024 at 10 a.m. at General Sessions Court at 141 Main Street, Barnwell, South Carolina. You're to remain throughout that term of court if no disposition is made during that term. The defendant shall appear and remain throughout each succeeding term of court.
I guess y'all can fast forward if
by the court.
this is a little too
Yes, Your Honor.
slow.
All right, so your bond amount is $60,000 cash or surety. The bottom right-hand side of this rectangle, I need you to put your initials right there. And number 4 under it says defendant will notify the court promptly if he changes his address from the one contained in this order, and he will comply with those other conditions described herein. You understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Top of page 9A. Acknowledged by the defendant says, I understand if I violate a condition of this order, a warrant for my arrest will be issued. I understand I have been informed I have the right and obligation to be present at this trial, and should I fail to attend court, the trial will proceed in my absence. It has been explained to me if I fail to appear before the court is required, a warrant for my arrest will be issued. This says that you live at 2410 Cane Branch Road, Walterboro, South Carolina. Is that correct?
Right now, at this moment, it is not correct. I'm here at the jail, but I have moved, but I personally don't know where my stuff has.
I guess he's right.
Just for protection to everybody, Your Honor.
Okay.
But once if I am on bond, I will hold up my.
He seems to be a little paranoid to me, thinking the cops are retaliating against him. He won't disclose what his address will be because he's got people after him, I guess.
Bargain and let you guys know where I'm going before I'm released. Not going anywhere. I'm fighting.
And you understand you violated conditions order warrant for your arrest to be issued. It says, I understand I have been informed have the right and obligation to be present at this trial, and should I fail to attend court, the trial will proceed in my absence. It has been explained to me if I fail to appear before the court is required, a warrant for my arrest will be issued. You understand that?
I do understand that, Your Honor.
Is that your correct phone number?
Yes, sir. That is my correct phone number.
And I need you to sign the top right-hand line, which is signature defendant. Then I need you to go down the left-hand side of the page. It says A, B, C, and D.
I see it. Yes, sir.
Check the box that says D.
The other condition.
D is
Yes,
a
sir.
dog.
Got
It
it.
says no contact with the victim directly or indirectly. Ankle monitor must be affixed and paid for by the defendant before his release. Ankle monitor reports must be sent to B. Gray at thetownofblackville.com.
You got to pay for your own ankle monitor.
I need you to write your name right there.
I wonder what they charge for that.
And so you have actually waived your right to a public defender. That's not set in stone.
Yes, sir.
If you want to fill that paperwork out, page 10, 11, and 12.
For the access to the court document, yeah, I think I probably should do that.
Okay.
If you're telling me that they're not going to give them to me here, then that's the only way I would get them. Then I have to do it.
Do you want to let's fill it out while we're here?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right.
Thinking about it.
All right. So look at number 1, and it says, "Are you presently employed?"
Yes, sir.
You said you were self-employed, so I need you to check yes.
Yes, okay. I checked no, but yeah, I'll recheck it. The one with the X on it is the right one. The one that's scribbled through is not good.
Okay. And then it says salary or monthly wage. Just put your estimated monthly wage. And if you're self-employed, just put self-employed there. You can skip the next one, go to number 2. It says include employment information for your spouse.
Yeah, you actually can get a good public defender, believe it or not. Anyone is good compared to representing yourself. But
page 3.
I knew some in Orlando, Florida, and I was real impressed with them as people.
Who are dependent upon you for support indicate beside.
I don't have any, Your Honor.
All right. You could just put none there. Number 4, it says, have you received within the past 12 months any money from any of the following sources? business or profession, or form of self-employment.
Yes.
Okay. Rent, payments of interest or dividends,
No.
pension, annuity, life insurance payments,
No.
gifts or inheritances,
No.
any other source of money.
No.
Okay. Go to number 5. Do you own any cash, or do you have any money or in checking or savings account?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you own any real estate, stocks, bonds, notes, or other valuable property, excluding ordinary household furnishings or clothing?
No, sir.
Number 7.
Wonder how old he is.
What motor vehicle do you own?
None.
Okay. Do you have any or owe any loans, have any loans or mortgages or encumbrances of debt?
Just rent and bills, that's it.
Okay. And you can read number 12, page 12. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer. If not, sign and date it right there.
Now, should I put on this too, Your Honor? The reason for using the public defender for access to paper, or
You
was
don't
it-
need to put that. You'll have full access to, you can use as much or as least of it as you want to.
Thank you, Your Honor.
God, the amount of time
Can
they
we
spend.
try to? Well, they'll figure that out once that's turned in with the waiver of the $40 fee, right, Your Honor?
Yes, I'll waive your $40 fees if you're in jail.
Appreciate it.
Let me ask you a question on your monthly wage. What'd you put out there?
1,200, Your Honor. That's a give or take. It could be more sometimes. It depends on the job I'm doing, but roughly it's about 1,200.
So it appears you're going to qualify. So I'm going to grant you, as soon as I get the paperwork back, I'll grant you a public defender, and I'll send this paperwork to them, and they'll get in contact with you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have you signed it yet and dated it?
Try not to cuss him
doing
out.
it right this second. What the date is? The 21st.
Yep. Do you have any other questions about it?
No, sir. I do not. I appreciate you doing that, Paul.
It's amazing how much respect he has for the
Last page
court,
you don't need to do because we just filled
but
it out.
zero respect for law
Instructions
enforcement.
on how to fill it out.
Yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
You will be getting a copy of all this paperwork.
Thank you.
Deputy, I appreciate it. Mr. Washburn, you got any more questions?
You wouldn't, never mind, you wouldn't be interested in the video, so I'm just gonna send it to solicitor, because that's the rules. Once I am found innocent of these charges I can have, expunged off my
Yes,
record.
sir. Yes, sir. I read that to you. I believe it's number,
You did, I just wanted to double check,
yes.
just for clearance.
Yep. If they're dismissed,
I wonder if this is the case you're going to learn about here in a second, where the charges get dismissed because the police don't forward their body cam footage for some reason. So the judge dismissed the entire case. I wonder if it's this one.
or found not guilty, then they'll be taken off your record.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. I hope you have a good day, man. Sorry to see you in here again.
No problem. All right. Good luck to you.
Thanks, sir.
Deputy, if you would fax my copies back, please.
Okay.
Here we go. This is the case dismissed. Probably April, May, or June. I'm thinking maybe July. I can't see a date on that. And then he gets arrested again for wearing a mask. And then this is the arrest footage. office. Wish you would fix that camera. Quit doing that. Got it. I don't know if I agree with the idea of uncut videos, but for balance, to help both sides, I can understand it. But you got to put up with footage like this.
It is 2:42.
So around 1 o'clock, right?
I think so.
Happy Halloween. Where's Waldo, dude? Hey, can I get a piece of paper? I need to get an incident report number because we just had the police come up on us at around 1 o'clock when we were walking them on. We'll put it in the FOIA request. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm pretty sure this happened afterwards, after that court proceeding with the judge, which means he's out on bond.
Thank you, ma'am.
Doing audits. This looks like the sheriff's office.
He called you. I know. 2 hours ago.
Not sure how he gets arrested wearing a mask.
We'll find out. Maybe 2 minutes.
Used to be he got arrested for not wearing a mask back during COVID in some states. But they show up with masks on and just freak people out. You know, nobody does that these days. This is this year. You know, this isn't 2022. You know, COVID running rampant. This is not a time to be wearing masks and freaking everybody out just because you can. I've never understood the mask thing. I mean, is it Long Island Audit? It's somebody that could be Bay Area Transparency. No, can't think of his name, but he wears a mask to create his own privacy in public. That's what he tells people. It makes you wonder if that is the point he's trying to make. Meaning you don't have privacy in public, so you have to create your own, so wear a mask, and that's what he's chosen to do? Or does he not want people legitimately to know who he is so they can retaliate his, you know, harassment activities? But like this guy, I mean, there's absolutely no purpose. He looks like he's going hunting. Which, you know, he's not. Looks like they're calling authorities here, higher authority, because nothing's happening, and he just wanted a sheet of paper. Even that's a waste of time on our government resources. They go around, can I have a sheet of paper so I can do a public records request or a FOIA request?
Yeah, I'll fill it out here.
The employee has to waste their time doing that. You know, they got better things to do. And then all the time they waste on the part of the cops and the judges.
I don't know if I've told you before, because you haven't got your mask on, and I can't tell you
For frivolity.
That's perfectly fine. But I just want to let you know that it takes up to 10 business days for the sports
Doesn't she look
specialist
cute?
to actually, they'll send you an email letting you know, hey, look, I received it. And from the date that it's put in, they have 30 days, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just let me know when you're finished with it, okay?
So why are you wearing your mask? Is what my question would be. Kind of a small waiting area for a sheriff's office. We need to be looking for ways to heap less into the bureaucracy of government, whether it's law enforcement or any other department of government. These guys heap more into the bureaucracy, more activity, more claims, more pushing paper, more submission of paper, more. It's completely counterproductive and wasteful, just every bit as much as they waste the time of the police when they're harassing them. Oh, here we go again with the camera. Excuse me. That's quite the box. I wonder what that is. You got to put stuff in there, but it's all metal. It's a steel box, stainless steel looks. It says RX. I guess you can come in and drop your unwanted or extra prescription meds and put it in that box. Does anybody do that? Or do most people just throw them in the toilet and flush the toilet? That's my theory. Maybe they're making this guy wait. They're trying to figure out what to do with him, I'm sure. Some strange guy in a mask is in the lobby. Oh, it's my right to wear a mask. I'm going to sue you for calling me strange.
This just goes over all the agreement information that you probably, I'm sure, already know. But there could.
Did you get the number please for the call service out there? Yeah, I got it. Okay.
No, you have to.
But you're gonna have to remove the automatic. For what?
Oh.
For the state law. Let me see that. That I was telling you about. I asked you to Google it.
State law, what is it?
So you can remove your mask or you'll be charged $500 fine. And if you fail to identify,
you can ask them to leave and we can leave.
No, I'm not asking you to leave. You can stay all you want, but you can take the mask off.
Well, we're not doing that.
Then
We're not going to be
go-
fined.
You can be arrested.
No, we can't.
Yes, you are. It's against the law.
You can ask us to leave.
You're under arrest at this point if
No,
you're
you're not.
refusing. Yes, you are.
For what?
For wearing the mask in public.
Let me see that. What it
You might
says,
want to read it again.
no person, offense of the breach of the peace. See,
No, it's not fine.
yes it is.
No, it's not. Let me get my ticket. I can see how this is going to go.
Looks like he's getting arrested for some statute about wearing masks.
That's private property. This isn't private property.
That's in public.
That says private property right there. Meeting a demonstration in private property. Private, this is public.
Mm-hmm.
This is public. I suggest you guys reread this.
Okay.
Because this is not a private place. This is public.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be a 18-242-1983 lawsuit.
Okay.
This is public, right?
There we go.
You work for the people, right?
Can I just say that? That's all I want.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm gonna give you DS.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Thank you. Do you want me to make you a copy?
Yeah, if you will, please. And that says private.
That says in private.
Public.
That said right there, I suggest you go read it
I
again,
suggest you
sir.
come to court. when
I
they give you
suggest you go
citation.
read it again before you make a mistake,
No, sir.
Mr. Boots.
I'll take that mistake. I
Oh,
need
what-
your ID.
There is no ID.
Then you're under arrest. You don't provide your information.
I don't have to take, it says in private. It says right there in a private venue during a demonstration.
Read it again.
I'm not doing it. I
You
did.
read the
Go get
private
it.
part.
Go get it. No, I did read the
Read the
prior
private
part.
part.
I
It
read
says
the
in
prior
private.
part. I read the prior
I'm not
part.
gonna argue with you.
I read, and I'm not committing a crime.
Do you want to be arrested?
I am
or
not committing a crime.
You are. You're wearing a mask in
No,
public.
I'm not. I'm wearing a mask in public.
In
Yeah,
public.
that's not illegal.
It is.
Fifth
I
Amendment.
just showed you.
Fifth Amendment.
Fifth Amendment
Fifth
doesn't have
Amendment.
anything to do
Yes,
with
it
that.
does. Fifth Amendment has
I'm not
nothing to
asking
do
you
with it.
whether you're
All right,
innocent or
to conceal my identity. I'm
No,
not in
you
the
don't.
position of committing a crime,
No.
sir. I suggest you go read it. I suggest you go read it, sir. I suggest you go read it.
Not sure why he's hiding his identity, because I'm sure he is well known within the law enforcement community.
No, sir, I already have.
I would, again, because it says in private. It says in private. Get it, sir. Go get it. Go read it again.
Tell me what to
Go read it again. You work for
do.
me, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you how I work for you.
You work for me.
Yeah.
I don't think
He's
so.
gonna
I
arrest
do
him.
think so.
You're not allowed to touch me.
I am not touching you.
You're under arrest, sir. You are under arrest. Get your hand
Wearing a mask in public.
Wearing a mask in public is not a
resisting.
crime.
It is.
It's not a crime.
I just showed
That
you.
is not a crime. That is not a crime. He's making a mistake. He is
Magnetic
making a mistake. This is
to
unlawful.
arrest.
Read it right there. Put your hand behind your back. It says in private. Do you want to go to the door? It says in private, sir. It says in private, sir.
Look.
I'm reading. It says in private.
What is he arguing for? He's got another lawsuit to pursue.
It says right there, you just highlight, it says right there.
Put your hand behind your
No
back.
person, wow.
You should be happy,
I am not
jumping up and
resisting
down.
arrest. That's unlawful.
Put your hand
This
behind
is
your back.
unlawful.
It's not
This is
unlawful.
unlawul.
We showed you the law.
This is unlawful. And it
Show you the
says
law, sir.
right there,
Sir, put
it
your
says
hand
right
behind your
there,
back.
Boots.
Put your
It
hand
says
behind
right
your
there,
back.
Boots.
Apparently you didn't read the whole thing.
I read the whole thing. It says in private. The fix is going to correct.
Oh, he tried to take him down
Put your hand behind your back.
with a trick. Did you see that?
You didn't resist arrest.
I did not do anything.
Yes, you did.
I did not do anything.
That's all right, it's on camera.
I did not do anything. And you're hurting my wrist.
Not my fault.
My wrist is
You're
hurting.
the one resisting, right?
Look, it hurts.
Shall enter upon you.
My wrist hurts.
All right, listen to me.
I'm not doing anything wrong,
There's
man.
no person 16 years of age.
It says,
Enter any lane, walk, alley, street, or road
my left wrist is
highway
hurting.
of this state.
My left wrist is hurting. And it's,
That means you can't wear that on the road or
I
anywhere.
didn't resist anything. I was reading a piece of paper.
Yes. That's all right.
I am reading a piece of paper. You are making a huge mistake. You are making a huge mistake.
Okay.
Read what it says you're hurting my wrist, this left wrist, bud. I'm bleeding.
He's trying to fix it. He's
trying
trying
to.
to fix it.
Ah.
Right. Do you want me to get the?
Ah,
Here, let me get the back.
ah,
It's okay. We got.
God.
It's all right. Zach.
It said, do you see what it says, the private? I'm not, I just came in to do a free application.
Public roadway.
This is not, what is, I'm in a public place.
You're in a public place.
It's okay. It's all right. Let me-
Ah, God, dude, I am not resisting.
It's okay.
I am not resisting. I know I did not.
Yes.
No, I did
It's
not.
on camera, that's okay. You got your camera too,
I did
don't
not
I
resist.
can't get that all.
I'm hurt.
you? Yes.
I can't get that
Of course he's
I am
hurt. He's
hurt.
hurt with every interaction.
I'm sorry, but I am hurt. I have
When
to do
there's
nothing
hands
wrong.
on, they all fall to the ground. And
Look, it says, no person over 16 years of age shall appear or enter upon any lane, walk, alley,
For the
street,
cameras.
road, or public way or highway of this state, or upon public property of the state, or any municipality of the court in this state while wearing a mask or other device that which conceals his identity, nor shall any such person demand interest or admission into any of the premises. And this is funny, this is Halloween too, guys, everybody. Just note that, this is Halloween.
Yes, our secretary.
But hey, anyway, nor shall any person while wearing a mask or device conceal his
this is
identity, participate in
October
any meeting,
of
demonstration
this
upon
year.
private property, unless he has first obtained written permission. And this is, well, see, that's in the commission of fucking committing a crime, bro. I'm not committing a crime.
You're wearing a mask in
I'm not,
public.
that's not a crime.
This is a public building.
That is not a crime.
Well, then you'll have a court date where you can explain that to the judge.
That is not a crime.
Okay.
Here, take that camera.
Is this yours?
That is
Oh,
not.
no, we're gonna keep that for evidence.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. That's fine.
I'll give you
Is this a copy, or can I?
It should be a PR.
No.
I did nothing.
It'll be a cash fine.
I did nothing.
Yes, okay.
Nothing. It's a cash fine? So this is a citation. Yeah, hand me my backpack, please.
He's going to sue him. You know he
Well,
is.
it would have been a cash fine until you decided to resist.
I didn't resist anything.
Yeah, okay.
I did not resist.
That's why it's on your camera and mine.
I did not resist.
Right.
He
I
did
did not
resist.
resist.
Excuse me.
No, not at all.
Please bring my water
it's
bottle. Can I
unlawful.
grab my water bottle out of the bag?
Yeah,
It's on
well,
the
I think
inside.
it is unlawful.
Sorry, it was a long one.
If he's out on bond, though, this can't look good to the judge.
Here.
I forgot to look to see if he had an ankle monitor on.
Did you see what the law states?
Let's see if we can catch him
That's during the commission of a
before they put him in the
You
car.
were in the commission of a crime.
He's wearing pants.
No, I wasn't. I'm filling out a
You were
FOIA
wearing a
request.
mask and I asked you
Filling out a
to take it
Freedom of
off.
Information Act request is not a crime, and you're turning that
I
off.
told
That's
you.
illegal.
I didn't turn it
No, I
off.
turned my camera off.
I ain't touched your camera to
This
turn
is
it off.
Chief Butts. This
These guys go to these public places asking for Freedom of Information Act requests like they really care about the information they're asking for. It's completely usurious. It's a waste of resources. It's really some sort of breach, as far as I'm concerned, breach of peace, or to use and abuse the public employees like this on a consistent basis just to work your grift.
is illegal. You understand, man? Like, I did nothing wrong. I'm trying to get you guys to avoid a lawsuit here.
Yeah.
Okay?
You might want to think about yourself.
It's an illegal search and seizure because I don't.
Nope,
I
you're
don't
under
consent.
arrest.
It's unlawful. It's
It's
unlawful.
not unlawful when
Yeah,
you're
it is.
under arrest.
You're breaking constitutional law. I
No,
have
I'm
rights
not.
to Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, you have the right to remain silent.
Fourth
You might want to
Amendment.
use it. It's not an illegal search and seizure.
This is
You
illegal
are
search
under
and
arrest. No, sir, you're under arrest.
This is illegal search and seizure.
No, sir.
I mean, you're making a mistake, Bubba.
I'll take that chance.
I was filming in public. Yeah,
Yes,
you're
you
gonna
were.
take that
Wearing a
chance?
mask.
You're going to take that chance.
Yeah, I'm
You're,
going to take
you're,
that chance.
you're an oath breaker, Bubba.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, God, here we go. He's an oath breaker.
Yep. You are. You're a lawbreaker.
Such disrespect towards the police.
Yes, sir.
Doing it the correct way, we support you 100%. But when you're doing it the legal way.
Right. No, I've read it. I understand. Hey, but question. I'm assuming you're all taking him to the jail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Central 108, you can show me percent A from Woodbine,
Alright.
1017 to B.
This poor cameraman doesn't know what to do. His friend's going to jail. Looks like he's going across the street and have a drink. Yep, that's a firehouse. Oh, let's go this way. Is he turning this into a First Amendment audit of the firehouse?
They got J-Dub Audits. Looks like we're gonna have a long walk back. Gonna have to call in a favor. Alright. Well, that's all that. It's gonna be
He's got no wheels.
interesting shit.
right, guys. Well, I'm trying to let this focus in here. So we're getting ready to watch the video for my Barnwell County bond hearing for wearing a mask in public. You can hear the cop boots lie.
This will be interesting.
Where we're going back and forth because I'm trying to get a PR bond, because I believe, I'm unlawfully arrested, and I was hoping the judge would see this. But the way they put the charges on, it seemed like they had resisting first and then the mask. So the judge was like, for the charge of, you'll see it here in the video. They think they're slick, so they're busted. Here, now we'll play it.
For you.
Have been better, but doing all right.
All right. All right, it's Mr. Joshua Washburn. I'm Judge Anderson. We're here for your bond hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to advise you that you have the
We
right
got
to
a
remain
third
silent.
judge.
Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You understand that, right?
I do.
All right. So, Mr. Washburn, we're going to go through the packet of paperwork. The first page you see is a waiver of the right to in-person court appearance and consent to video audio conference. We're doing a video conference. Do you agree to have your hearing done in this manner?
100%. I trust you guys. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Secondly, you do have the right to have an attorney to represent you at the bond hearing. Understand, I'm not here to discuss any guilt or innocence or any facts on the case. I'm here just to make a determination for bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to have an attorney present at this hearing?
Well, at this hearing, I won't need it, but further on, because I'm still in school, I got a lot of work to do.
Okay, you'll still be entitled to one at any future hearing. This is just for today's hearing.
This ain't his only case, Judge.
Okay, if you'll sign both places, I have an X mark on the lower left. All right, next page, top left, we have your charge listed, or charges. We've got 2024 A06-201-00077 and 78. Those are for resisting arrest, oppose or resist law enforcement officer serving process or making arrest, and mask, wearing a mask. And it kind of cuts it off there, hold on. Or it just says wearing mask and the like. So with these charges, understand you do have a right and obligation to be present at trial, and should you fail to attend the court, it will proceed in your absence, and if you fail to attend as required, a warrant for your arrest will be issued.
Yes, ma'am.
You do have the right to a preliminary hearing, you have the right to a trial by jury, and you have the right to counsel and court-appointed counsel if you're financially unable to employ counsel. You understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please initial beside number 2.
I wonder if he goes for the right to trial by jury or prefers a judge, usually. Just curious.
Something I want to mention real quick is that the Americans with Disability Act, 42 United States Code 12203 A and B, makes it illegal for those who retaliate against those who have opposed an unlawful order that goes against anything for the American with Disabilities Act, which I clearly state several times before my arrest, even in the initial lawful stop where Boots was checking for nefarious acts, where I, tell him that, look, Americans with Disabilities Act would, say otherwise, that I'm allowed to wear this mask, in public, as long as.
What the hell is your disability?
I'm not trying to commit a crime with it on, then it should be fine. But, his misinterpretation of the law, it just got his ass in some trouble. But here we go. I'm sorry, guys. Oh,
cussing in court.
Man, see, sometimes, man, I got too much in my hands right now.
All right, top of the next page, paragraph C, it gives you information on how to apply for a public defender. So if you're interested in a public defender, you can make an application at the Barnwell Magistrate Court. The address and the phone number are listed there in that top paragraph, and a $40 filing fee for that. Number 6 does not apply here. Number 7, if the charges that are brought against you are discharged, dismissed, or null prossed, or you're found not guilty, you can have your record expunged. And number 8 is that you're required to keep the court notified of any changes of address until the final disposition of the charges. If you understand, if you would sign at the X mark, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Our next page is information regarding your rights. So you have been charged with a criminal offense, and if you're found guilty, you may be subject to penalties that could include a fine and or jail time. Depending on the circumstances and the specific offense, you may be subject to additional consequences, including but not limited to increased penalties for later convictions, loss of your driver's license, or the loss of your right to possess firearms and/or ammunition. If you are not a citizen of the United States, your immigration status will be affected. If you are currently on probation or parole, it may be revoked. You have several constitutional rights, and some of these rights may be waived or forfeited, so it is important that you know and understand them in order to protect them. You have the right to represent.
Oh, he knows them all right. He's a constitutional scholar, just like Jose Chili. What's his name? What is Chili's last name? Chili. I can't think of his name.
Representation by an attorney.
But he thought of himself as a constitutional scholar. You know, none of them have college degrees.
You may hire an attorney, or if you cannot afford an attorney, you may be eligible to have one appointed to represent you at
Chili might have a college degree. I don't know, but this guy doesn't.
no cost to you. If you would like to have an attorney appointed, you must be screened by the court to see if you qualify. It is your obligation to be screened at the location identified in paragraph 5C of the bond checklist form that you received here today. If you do not hire an attorney or get screened for a court-appointed attorney, you may be found to have waived your right to representation. You have the right to represent yourself. However, you should be aware of the dangers of self-representation. Criminal defense is a complex and specialized field of law, and there may be specific factual, legal, or procedural issues relevant to your charge or charges that you are not aware of. If you exercise your right to proceed without an attorney, then you are responsible for complying with all applicable rules of court, including rules of evidence, procedure, and proper courtroom behavior. If you are convicted on the charges filed against you, in order to pay a fine, you can request a reasonable scheduled payment plan to pay the fine. And it is your responsibility to keep track of your trial date and obtain the services of an attorney before it.
I wonder how much money
and having one appointed. If you do
he
not appear
owes.
at your trial with your attorney, you may be found to have waived your right to representation. And again,
And
it is your
court
responsibility
fees.
to keep the court
Goddamn
updated on any
facial
changes of
expression.
address before until the final disposition of the charges. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Sign there at the X mark, please.
I bet you it's a big number.
All right, your next form, mandatory court appearance. This is the only notice that you'll receive, so make sure you keep a copy for your records. And again, Mr. Washburn, they'll give you a copy of this entire packet once we finish.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're a defendant in a criminal case and required to appear at the Baltimore County Courthouse, 141 Main Street in Baltimore. Dates and times of these appearances cannot be changed for any reason. Your initial appearance is set for December 16th, 2024 at 10 a.m. in the main courtroom. Failure to appear will result in your arrest. You must be present at this appearance. If you fail to appear on this date and time, a bench warrant will be issued for your arrest.
Oh, I will
You'll
be
placed
there.
in jail and be detained until the trial of your case.
Yeah, with a motion to
Failure obtain an
suppress and a
attorney may
motion to
result in your
dismiss.
bond being revoked, being held in contempt of court, fines, and
Blah, blah, blah.
If you understand, if you'll sign the lower left.
That's him talking in the background. He fancies himself a trial lawyer.
Please.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a motion to dismiss
The
and
next form
suppress.
is your notice of a right to a
Ready to
preliminary
go.
hearing. So you are charged with the above named offenses, and you may be entitled to a preliminary hearing. You must request this hearing within 10 days of this notice or lose your right to such a hearing. You can request the hearing by completing the lower left section of the form and returning it to the address in the center of the page, which is the Second Judicial Circuit Solicitor's Office. So, Mr. Washburn, if you know you would like a
Quite a roller
hearing,
coaster of a
you
year
sign
for
it
this
today.
guy.
I'll go ahead and forward it to the Solicitor's Office for you, or you can wait and speak with an attorney about it. Which
Yeah,
would you like to?
I went ahead and signed it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I went ahead and signed it.
That's all right. So you want me to go ahead and forward it up for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll do that.
I apologize for cutting you off.
That's all right. All right. So, Mr.
So
Washburn,
respectful
we're
to the
at now,
judge, never to the cops.
determination for bond. I have Lieutenant Boots with Baltimore County Sheriff, Baltimore Police Department here. In the courtroom, he is going to present any criminal history and any information he feels that the court needs to know to determine bond. Once he is finished, I'll give you an opportunity to speak on your behalf if you would like, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor, they've been for,
Here we go again for a third time.
a failure to appear for misdemeanor in 2019, and also it does have few, not all in this state, assault a police officer, well, that was in South Carolina, assault a police officer while resisting arrest, and a previous resisting arrest. In all fairness, Your Honor, it does not show a disposition for those charges, so it's unclear whether or not he was convicted on those charges. The misdemeanor failure to appear, Your Honor, these are general sessions charges, and if he did not fail, or if he did not appear on a magistrate level, it's unclear as to whether he would show up on a general sessions case charge. And these charges from Mr. Washburn, they don't rise to the level of a no bond, but I do ask that there be a cash bond placed on the defendant.
Okay. Mr. Washington, I'll give you an opportunity if you would like to speak on your behalf at this time.
That's interesting.
So I again want to advise you of that right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Okay?
Well, I would like to speak, if that's okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, I have exercised and shown in prior cases that have just happened within this year that I have stayed, and these were pretty substantial charges, and I've stayed and went through the course of the cases, Your Honor. Also, with the nature of these cases here, like it's stating wearing masks, and yesterday was Halloween, to be taken into consideration here. And wearing a mask without, any intention of committing a crime, it should be taken note of. I mean, a Freedom of Information Act was what I was in the process of doing while I was unlawfully arrested. I know we're not figuring that out, but my stance is I was unlawfully arrested for doing a constitutionally protected activity, doing a Freedom of Information Act request while protecting my identity because I wanted to do it anonymously. And the mask, because there is no reasonable expectation of privacy in public, it's on the person to create that privacy. And that's all that I was doing yesterday. But just constitutionally protected activities, Your Honor.
But there's that law.
Okay. Lieutenant Boots would like to add something. I'm going to give him an opportunity. Yes, sir.
Can I rebuttal also?
Yeah. No, he wanted to know if he could have a rebuttal of what you say.
So what Mr. Washburn probably did not know is when I made contact with him initially at approximately 1:48 p.m. in the afternoon, there was a prior person with a gun call at a high school, and according to the call for service, there was two subjects with masks walking from I-5 points towards the high school. So want to take that into consideration also.
That's interesting.
Also, the defendant does have an address in Walterboro, so at this point he does not have an address shown here.
Okay. Mr. Washburn?
I am currently in school studying law and psychology, Your Honor. I am 3 terms away from graduation. I have assignments due on Sunday. I did not intend on getting arrested. I intended on filling out a FOIA request, which is what I did that day. And I actually have the piece of paper here.
Never let it go.
Barnwell Police Department Freedom of Information Act request form that I was doing, Your Honor. So there was no criminal intent.
Look at her eyes.
For him
She's
to bring
like,
up some
fuck.
threat that I knew nothing about when I was just walking about on my casual day, just minding my own business, is kind of absurd, Your Honor.
Again, they're not trying the case. This is simply for bond issuance.
Okay, well, understand, we're not here to make a determination. I'm not here to try the case. This isn't a case in my jurisdiction. This is going to General Sessions Court. So I'm not here for that matter.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just requesting a PR bond because, for one, I am a student, full-time student, and I do not make enough money to pay a bond. That's detrimental to my schooling right now. Like, I have money to pay for my food that I have this week that's coming on Wednesday with my money. Other than that, I have nothing. I have proved that I am not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I will.
Kind of pisses me off that he claims indigent and seeks mercy from the court to not give him a bond of any magnitude because he's poor, and yet he goes and he harasses the government and the police and really abuses their time by forcing them to deal with him and all of his frivolity. And, he's really dreaming up all of these things that have happened. They would never have happened if it weren't for him. They're not happening to him. They are happening as a result of the things that he did. So it just kind of bothers me that he's now, on his knees in front of the judge begging.
Take these court dates just like I promised the last time. I am a man of my word. Yes, prior when I was a child and I didn't know my rights and I didn't know how to fight and I didn't know about things, yes, I made mistakes. And people do make mistakes, but I am not.
Just look at your rap sheet.
Like, I am trying to make changes. I'm not out there breaking the law. Wearing a mask on Halloween, I've never heard of anybody getting arrested wearing a mask on Halloween before not committing a crime.
Okay, again, we're not here to argue the case.
I apologize, but I just...
All right.
I wonder when this trial is.
Now, Mr. Washburn?
My address is actually in Aiken. Like, they took my identification from me unwillingly. So they got that, all that address, all that information off my identification. I live at 677 Live Oak Drive in Aiken. That's still a substantial little bit of drive, but it's not far enough to be any worry about, Your Honor. It's like a typical commute to work and back.
All right, so my concern here, Mr. Washburn, mainly is the charge for resisting arrest. The other charges, pending charge, and it's to be dealt with as well, but as far as...
He was resisting.
A resisting arrest charge. I'm going to cut it between the two of you. I'm going to issue a cash surety bond. Amount of the bond is going to be $3,000. That's $2,500 on the resisting and $500 on the wearing the mask. So it's a $3,000 cash surety bond. All right.
So that's $300?
Well, the bond is $3,000. You'll need to talk to a bondsman and find out how much.
Okay.
The bonding company will tell you what they'll charge you. I don't have any input into that.
Yes, ma'am.
300.
Okay. So Williams, if you'll write in 3,000 down at the lower left.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right. Mr. Washburn, in that box on bail proceeding form 2, your court date is listed again, December 16th, 2024 at 10 a.m. General Sessions Court. It does state in here that you're not to leave the state of South Carolina. If you would initial in the lower right-hand corner of that box that you understand your bond. We're going to flip over to the next page. Acknowledgement by defendant. You understand that if you violate any condition or warrant for your arrest, you understand and have been informed that you have a right and obligation to be present at trial, and should you fail to attend the court, it will proceed in your absence. And if you fail to attend as required, a warrant for your arrest will be issued. All right. I need you to
wonder what a guy with no money does to get $300.
If you would write in your correct address and a phone number for me over there to the left of your signature, please.
It's almost over, guys. We will be making some update videos too for you guys here in the near future, so you know what happened. Blackville, we did a number on them.
All right, Mr. Washburn, she'll take out bail proceeding form 1. What that'll leave you is with an application for a public defender. That's the application you'll fill out if you're released from the detention center. Come to the Barnwell Magistrate Office to fill that in. She'll also provide you with an information sheet of things I will need to make that determination. I know you've been represented before. Who was representing you?
Alves.
Alves. Do you plan to apply on this one?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I got a lot of schoolwork I got to do, and I'm hoping to be out by tomorrow so I can...
All right. Are you currently working? Are you employed?
I'm self-employed, independent investigative journalist, and then I remodel houses where I stay at to help pay bills.
Okay. Can you tell me about how much you make per month?
Not that much. Like I pay, it's like a trade for trade. You let me stay, I fix your house.
Okay. How many people reside in the house?
About 6.
All right. So again, Williams will provide you with the information I'll need. If anybody in that home over the age of 18 is working, I'll need income.
No wonder he's suing the government.
In order to make the determination, okay?
It's a grift.
All right. Any questions?
Well, I ain't doing that.
Well,
I'm pro saying that shit, but
no. I mean,
No, ma'am. I respect your judgment. I do.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
That's Joshua talking in the background.
That was it, guys. So
Okay, or just my copy too?
Yeah, you keep that and you keep this right here.
Yeah, well, then, and I need, yeah, okay.
all right, so that was it, guys. That was the bond hearing. Now I see that, you know, I mean, she could have checked into more about the mask and things of this nature. I mean, that's what judges are supposed to do, but she didn't.
It's because it was a bond hearing. It wasn't a hearing about your innocence.
Anyway, like I said, we're gonna make some you know, update videos about Blackville, South Carolina, what happened there. We still got to file lawsuits on Freedom of Information Act violations and for the unlawful imprisonment, wrongful arrest, wrongful imprisonment, assault and battery done by Maurice Laverne Huggins. So if anybody knows where Maurice Laverne Huggins in South Carolina, we're looking for him. We need to find him. He needs to be held accountable. He literally was like one of the lead conspirators that had me arrested for the warrant in Indiana for filming in public. Like, he looked me up 3 days prior to my arrest to see if I have warrants. Called Indiana, said, yeah, I know where he's at. I got him. Then came to get me on that day of March 9th when all that bullshit happened.
Bullshit. I mean, you had warrants. A cop found you and told other cops to come get you. What's wrong with that?
And then when Indiana wasn't going to come to get me, they come to try to hit me with fucking false gun charges, yo. False gun charges. Long and short, I beat all that shit.
That could be true.
I'm going to file suit. Like, yeah. I love y'all. I want to get this video out to you. Thank you for the support. God bless. Thank you, Rogue Nation. You are the fucking man, brother. J-Town Press, San Joaquin Valley Transparency, The Armed Fisherman, Flex Your
These
Freedom,
are all the frauditors.
Long Island Audit. I love all of you guys, man. Let's stay united. Direct D, I love you too, man, you fucker. Just be united, y'all. All right, peace.